All right, President Biden, meanwhile, selling his Build Back Better plan in Pennsylvania in the next hour. But as fears grow, the Delta variant spreading across the country will negatively impact the economy. How might this hurt the president's agenda? Former White House press secretary, Fox News contributor Ari Fleischer joins us now. I don't know, Ari, what do you think about that? Jen Psaki, standing at the podium, you know very well. She was asked about the Delta variant, the fears of it, how that's affecting the economy right now. And they said, well, we don't really see an impact on the economy. I'll add in yet, because we just don't know if there's any further planned shutdowns. What's next?
Big sweeping problems like this can hurt a country in two ways. One is just people's outlook. If America turns into a more pessimistic nation where people just think, oh my gosh, I thought we were through it, now everything's getting worse all over again. That has a dramatic effect on people's lives and people, therefore, their outlooks, and that hurts politicians, particularly incumbents in the White House, because it affects people's mood. The second issue is, does it affect people's economy? And that's directly tied to whether or not businesses start to shut down again, whether people start to stay home again. And the more talk, scary talk, and more masks get reissued, the more people start to think, I shouldn't be out and mixing with others. That does, of course, start to hurt economies.
I want to turn your attention to Mitch McConnell on the Senate floor midday yesterday, talking about President Biden's reckless tax and spending spree. He makes a very interesting point in comparison to Mr. Bernie Sanders yesterday. Listen.
Our distinguished colleague, Chairman Bernie Sanders, may not have won the last presidential primary, but on the Democratic side, it sure looks like his socialist philosophy is winning the war.
Fascinating point, Ari.
I think Senator McConnell summed it up well. Look, the November 2020 election was about the American people saying they didn't want Joe Biden to be like Donald Trump. It wasn't about policy. It was about personality. But they didn't want Joe Biden to be like Bernie Sanders. So Biden is governing as if he was a little Bernie. And that's the problem. When he wants trillions upon trillions of new spending, way more than our government has ever spent before, massive redistribution of income schemes, Joe Biden is misreading the mandate that the American people gave him last November. He's on very thin ice without a margin.
Well, I'll ask you what the consequences could be for the 2022 midterm elections, because I know you have a thought on that, as it does appear Senate Republicans have reached some sort of deal with Democrats on the major issues, at least, of this $1 trillion infrastructure bill. And this is as the AP has this headline today. Those talks leave Biden's entire agenda at risk, writes the AP. The outcome of the infrastructure bargaining, which for weeks has encountered one snag after another, will impact what could be the crown jewel of his legacy. So, does he get this done, Ari?
Well, infrastructure is not the crown jewel. Infrastructure is normal bolts and nuts, the things that Congress and the president always should be able to do. This is low lifting. It's turned into heavy lifting because nothing in Washington works. The rest of the agenda is the Biden redistribution gone wild agenda. That's the Bernie agenda. That's the untold trillions that he wants to spend on things that the government has never previously funded the way Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders want to fund it. That's the big issue for progressives. I don't read into the infrastructure bill that launches the next one, because I think there's so much opposition to this massive spending spree that you have to separate the two. Do the nuts and bolts infrastructure, but then stop it at all costs, this mass spending spree, because it's just not good for America. It's way too big, way too much. It's not what our government does.
Interesting. It appears there's an evening test vote set for that tonight, so we'll see. Always good analysis. Ari, thank you.